Hey Cancer, how are you? Welcome to Pure Tarot. Tonight I'm doing the 5 W's reading. It's, as you might know, the who, the what, the where, the why, and the when of a particular situation that the cards will be showing us. I've separated the court cards out of the Santa Muerte deck to describe the who. The Moonology here is complete, and I'm using it to describe the what. I've selected some of the cards of the Enchanted Map Oracle deck to describe the where. I've only picked the major arcanas out of the Ghost Spirits deck to describe the why. And I've taken the Ace through the 10 out of playing cards to get a number, right? To get an idea of when this could take place for you. So let's pull the cards. I'll pull all of them first before I really start reading, just to get a storyline. I'm going to pull, but when a single card pops out, I take it, like in this case. So we have the Queen of Wands here for you, Cancer. Let's pull one Moonology card. What do you need to release? Waning Moon. The where, let's look at where is this taking place or where you're headed. To the dry desert. That's interesting. Really interesting, the energies of release and the desert. Let's look at why. Let's see what comes out. The why. Why is this happening? The Lovers, okay. And let's get a time frame here. I got 2 cards, I'm gonna put them back. Just want one. And one came out, and it's an 8. And there was an 8 out of the 2 cards that just fell, so it was meant to be, it's 8. Okay. So you're the Queen of Wands. Look at her beautiful slim waist. A nice curvy body. She's quite sexy. She's wearing earrings. She's got a beautiful garment with motifs. So I don't know if it could be you, it could be someone else, but you definitely love fashion. You love bright colors. You love accessories. That's really interesting. That it would come out like that. I don't know, it feels like you're saying something and you want to make sure people hear you. So you're putting your hand close to your mouth so that the sound propels. But it could also be that you're like, you know, like surprised at something. It could be another way of reading this facial expression, if facial you want to say for a skeleton. But hey, she is smiling. I mean, I don't think, but she's surprised. Something maybe is astounding her. She's holding this candle. It's like it represents her own light, her own way of shining, right? She is I guess the first thing you notice of her is that she has this particular light. recognizable between all. So whether it's you or someone else, again, you need to determine that for yourself. But I think it would be you somehow. So what do you need to release? It's a question, it's being asked. So the waning moon is obviously close to the end of the lunar cycle. So it's marking a moment of completion or of you're about to complete something, a cycle, definitely. It could be something, because we're talking about lunar cycles, it could be something that took place about 3 weeks ago. And I'm not reading time from this 8 here. I'm just giving you another potential cycle of what it is that you might need to release, something that would pertain to maybe 3 weeks ago. You know, there's all this snow falling. I live up north, right, where there's snow in the winter time, lots of snow. And it's very beautiful when there's a big snowstorm. The next day, obviously everything is white, and it really usually it's interesting. There's sunshine the next day, and so the snow sparkles like millions of diamonds. And the other particularity is that everything is very, very quiet because the snow muffles the sounds. So it's a very particular ambiance. It creates a particular mood. And it creates this kind of space where, you know, it's like being in a very, you know, I'm thinking of cotton, right? Like the cotton balls. You know how it's like soft, and if you want to even think about, you could block your ears with cotton. So it's the idea of the sounds being muffled and being in a place where you where you would be able to determine what it is that you need to release. So it's interesting, it's not describing what you need to release per se, to me at least. It's supposed to describe the what, but it's describing much more the phenomenon of the kind of emotional and mental and maybe spiritual state that you, and even physical, how you might need to seclude yourself to be able to shed and release something. Cancer. And you know, the where is the dry desert. So again, the idea that it's a place where, I mean, I've never been like to a place like the Sahara, or, you know, I've been to Arizona, and I've been to New Mexico. So I've seen the desert, but I haven't seen like dunes and stuff, right? I've seen desertic landscapes. There's a lot of wind sometimes. It's obviously very dry, but very hot. So it's interesting, there's a huge contrast between the snow, you know, snow is water, obviously crystals, and it's white and it's cold, and here is dry and hot and it's really interesting. It's very, very polar opposites, and you have the Lovers here, polar opposites as well. Opposites attract. Sometimes it's, you know, two people that are twins that look so much alike, that are very similar, that attract one another. But I'm reading this as, you know, the choice card. So, I don't know, I'm reading it as opposites. It's interesting. You know, when you release something, you might feel like like there's nothing left, right? You release something and you feel like there's a void, or you feel like yeah, like there's nothing left, and it's only temporary sometimes. Usually it's really temporary, because life is a perpetual cycle of death and rebirth. So whatever you release, you know, you might temporarily feel like there's nothing left in your life, or you might feel I don't know, like you have nothing else to give, like you maybe you've released everything. Like literally, like changed your life, like I don't know, like 180 degrees. That would be drastic. Mind you, this Queen of Wands would be able to do that, because she has enough guts, and you know, she's very bold, and so she wouldn't hesitate to like, she would have the force of character, you know. She's passionate, so she'll go 100 miles an hour and 100%. Like, she's never halfway. That's how I'm reading it, you know. That's interesting. So maybe this release is maybe it wasn't possible for you to release only part of whatever this situation was. Maybe you needed to really explode the whole thing, and really make a huge change, like a drastic change. And here, this Lover's card, it's interesting. There's like one of the lovers is like is hooded. It reminds me of the how do you call them, in the Lord of the Rings, they're the seven wraiths. What is that, how they're called? Even the horse reminds me of that image. It's interesting. It feels like this particular woman was kidnapped. Again, I get the choice. I get there's a huge contrast. Maybe the release is, maybe you were very different from, let's say it's a love situation. Maybe you were very different from this person, but so much so that that you didn't gel, and that you know, the contrast was too great between the two of you, and maybe you needed to release the relationship, the attachment. And you know, the Queen of Wands here is so passionate that she could not endure a relationship for the sake of having a relationship, right? She definitely needs to be fully involved, and